Good day, sir. My report is all about what is drugs. So, unsa jud ay ng drugs? Okay na ay duha, legal o illegal. Pero later, i-discuss na ni Marian Capili. So, focus sa ta kung unsa jud ay ng drugs. Kung maingon tag drugs, these affect the way your body and mind. They can change how you feel, think, and behave. People take drugs for different reasons and in different ways. So, ang droga daw makaapekto kini or maka-impluwensya sa paagi sa paglihok sa hunahuna o lawas sa paaging mahimo niyang usbon ang imong gibati, hunahuna o imong pamatasan. So, later on, mapasabot ra na sa next reporter og nganong mao man ni ang iyahang definasyon. Nganong mausab man ni ini ang iyang pamatasan, gibati og hunahuna. So far to that, so naay mga rason nganong mutumar o mag-take og drugs ang mga tao para sa asa. So naasay nagkadaiyang paagi. The drugs are substances that, when taken in or administered into one's systems, affect mental processes. Okay, so mauna to akong giingon ganina na affect your body and mind. They can change how you feel, think, and behave. So, okay. Example is perception in terms of affect mentality or kung maghisgotag makaapekto sa pangisip. Okay, so perception, paglantaw. Consciousness, panimuot. Cognition, kahibalo. Mood, magutro-utro ang mood ug ang emosyon. Tanan is unpredictable o dangerous, right? Labi na sa mga young people or sa atong mga kabatanunan. Okay, so ngano magamit mag-drugs ang usa ka tao or ibutang taang mga tao? Drugs change the way your body or brain works. So, ara ang mga rason nganong mag-take of drugs ang mga tao. Because they are curious and want to see what happens. They want to fit in or feel pressured by their peers. They enjoy the effect on their body, for example, feeling excited and energetic or relaxed and calm. They help them cope with situation, for example, reducing pain or relieving stress. They've having a drug dependency and need to keep taking them to avoid withdrawal symptoms. So, dependency maoning na ay mga maintenance. Next, how are drugs made? So, okay, drugs come from different sources. So, una, plants. For example, cannabis, mushrooms, or tobacco. Next, processed plants products. For example, alcohol or heroin. Synthetic chemicals. So, for example, ecstasy or amphetamines. The process used to make drugs varies widely. But drugs products have two main types of ingredients. So, the two main types of ingredients, the active ingredients and inactive ingredients. So, pag mingon tag active ingredients, so mao ni siya ang the ingredients that biologically affect your body. Pag maingon tag inactive ingredients, these generally have no biological effect. They include binding agent, capsules, dyes, preservatives, flavorings, and other ingredients. So, the next reporter will discuss how come na illegal o legal siya kay madiscuss sa niya ang classification of drugs. Let's proceed sa how do people take drugs. So again, as what I've said kaganina, na people take drugs in different ways. So, there are some common methods. Una, swallowing tablets or drinking liquids. So, the body absorbs the drug through the stomach lining. Next, breathing them into the lungs. So, the body absorbs the drugs through the lining. Next, snorting into the nose. So, the body absorbs the drug through the thin nasal lining. Next, injecting. The user injects the drugs directly into the bloodstream. Next, through the skin, the body slowly absorbs the drug from a cream or patch. And the last one, rectally or vaginally as a suppository, so the body absorbs the drug through the bowel or vaginal lining. No matter which you take a drug, it will end up in your bloodstream and affect different parts of your body.
Drugs has two types, legal and illegal drugs. So legal drugs, some drugs such as alcohol, caffeine, and nicotine are legal but may be subject to restrictions based on age, location of use, driving, and point of sale regulation. We regulate and control the active ingredients in legal drugs. So the alcohol content of drinks, the milligrams of nicotine in cigarettes. So, what is illegal drugs also? Other drugs such as cannabis, amphetamines, ecstasy, cocaine, and heroin are illegal. They are not subject to quality or price control, and the amount of active ingredient varies. A person using illegal drugs can never be sure of how strong the drug is or what actually in it. Different batches of an illegally manufactured drug may have different amounts of drug and the other unidentified additives. It is against the law to possess, use, make, import, or sell illegal drugs. The penalties for drug offenses vary depending sa edad or sa offender. May be adult or minor, type of drugs, quantities involved, previous offenses, and the state or territory in which offense happened.
So, good day, sir. I am the reporter for this topic, which are types of drugs. So, drugs can be grouped together in different way. The way affect the body, how they are used, or where they are used. So, there are the categories of drugs. So, drugs can be categorized by the way in which they affect or varies. First is depressant, hallucinogens, stimulants. So later on, I explain it. So some drugs affect the body in many ways and can fall into more than one category. For example, cannabis occurs in all three categories. So cannabis, that is marijuana. So first drugs is depressants. So depressant, when you say depressant, that is a slow down in activity in the brain and other parts of the central nervous system. Depressant is a substance reduce arousal and stimulation. They affect the central nervous system. So the slower message effect. First is your concentration and coordination, your ability to respond to what's happening around you. The last is small doses of depressant can you may feel relaxed, calm, and less inhibited. So the second is hallucinogens. So when we say hallucinogens are psychedelic drugs that can be potential change the way people see, hear, taste, smell, or feel, and also affect mood and thought. So, and the last is stimulant. So, when you say stimulant, it speed up the messages between the brain and the activity or body. So, this can cause first is your heart to beat faster, your blood pressure to up, you can feel more awake, alert, confident, or energetic. So there are a common group of drugs. So drugs can also be grouped by how or where they are used, commonly used. So I directly explain what is the common group of drugs. So there are the eight common groups of drugs. So first is analgesic. So when you say analgesic, that is painkillers or drugs that selectively pain or on peripheral pain mechanism without significantly altering consciousness. So the second common group of drugs is inhalants. So when we say inhalants are substances that you breathe in through the nose, sniffing, or mouth. They are absorbed into the bloodstream very quickly, giving the user an immediate high. So, most happen or encounter is yung ano, yung mga yung mahilig gumamit ng for example, yung rugby, yung pain. So, yan ang example ng inhalants. So, there are the four main types of inhalants. So, first is volatile solvent. So, when you say volatile solvent, that is a uh, when you say a volatile solvent, that is a liquid that turn into gas at room temperature. For example, is paint thinner and paint removers. And the second is aerosol spray. For example, dyan is yung ano, spray paint and hairspray. And third is gases. For example, dyan is yung butane, cigarette lighters. So the last is nitrates. So for example, dyan is yung ano, from deodorizers and letter cleaners. So let's proceed in the third groups of drugs, so which is opioids. So when we say opioids, that is a drug, a types of drug that are painkiller that can be found or made from the opium poppy plant. So that is opioids. So or also called opiates or narcotics. They are addictive as they can give you a feeling of well-being or euphoria. So the fourth common groups of drugs is party drugs. So party drugs are a group of stimulants and hallucinogens that can be used by teenage, teenagers and young adults at bars, nightclubs, concerts, and parties to heighten sensory perception and reduce inhibition. So the fifth is performance and image enhancing drugs. So when we say performance and image enhancing drugs, drugs are substances used by people to change their physical appearance or boost their sporting ability. For example, wide wide lifters and athletes. So the sixth is perception drugs. So when you say perception drugs, a perception drugs are medicine is mechanic that can only used by made of available to a patient on the written instruction of a authorized health profession, just like a doctor. So that is a medicine prescribed by a doctor. So and the seven groups of drugs is psychoactive drugs. So when I say psychoactive drugs are substance that when taken into or administered into one system affect mental process just like perception, consciousness, mood, and emotion. So the last common group of drugs is synthetic drugs. So when you say synthetic drugs is drugs that refer to substances that are artificial modified from naturally occurring. Drugs are capable of exhibiting both therapeutic and psychoactive effects. So that is my topic assigned. That's all. Thank you, sir.
So hi everyone, my topic is all about what are the effect of taking drugs. So unsa daw ang epekto if may mag-take ta og drugs. So drugs have different effects depending on drug itself, a person taking it in their surroundings. So ang drugs daw kay naay nagkadaiyang epekto depende kung giunsa nimo ni siya paggamit. So learn how your body processes drugs and about the short-term and long-term effects. Taking drugs can affect not just your physical and mental health but your whole life. Just one pill can kill. So drugs affect your whole life. The drugs don't just affect your physical body and health, but they can affect your mental health, your finances, your relationships, your social life, and criminal record. So, ang drugs daw, dili lang kay sa imong physical body and health makaapekto, but makaapekto po ni sa imong mental health, sa imong finances, sa relationship, sa social life, o sa imong criminal record. So, physical health can vary. The way a drug affect you depends on the drug itself, what type of drug it is, kung unsa nga klase nga droga ay mong gigamit, how you much you talk, the strong or pure it is, kung kini ba unsa ka isog nga droga ang imong gigamit ug unsa ka pure ang imong gigamit, or how often you take it, your body, your gender, your size, physique, personality, expectation, and also your recently you eat, your general health, on how you become a tolerant. So, what other drugs you talk with it? For example, ang alcohol. So, each drugs causes different physical reactions. So, kana nga ang mga droga daw kay na mga different causes of physical reactions depending on the type of drug. Depende kung unsa nga type nga droga. So, some will make you feel more awake, alert, energetic. So, ang uban if maka-take og droga kay maka-feel sila og more awake and alert and energetic. So, others will give you a calm, relaxed feeling. So, some alter your perceptions can cause hallucinations. Ang uban pod kay mag-hallucinate if maka-take og drug. Others may make you feel numb. So, long-term use and larger doses have negative effects that can seriously harm your health, even cause death, including disease risk for sharing, needles, and permanent damage to the brain and other organs. So, may mga ubang epekto sa droga. So, other effects of drugs. So, first is your mental health. Makaapekto ang droga sa imong mental health. Studies shows that drug use increases your risk of mental health issues such as anxiety, depression, and psychosis. So, ang droga is maka-apekto sa imong mental health, including ang imong anxiety, depressions, and psychosis. So, people with mental health issues also have a higher rate of drug use problems. Next is financial issues. Isa po ni siya makaapekto sa drugs. Some drugs can be very expensive. So, naman siya mga droga na pretty kamahal. So, makaapekto po ni siya sa imong financial. So, the street price of illicit drugs depends on availability and demand. If you have become dependent on a drug, you can end up in a financial trouble. Ang third is relationships. Makaapekto po ni siya sa relationship ang droga. Because drugs can change your behavior. So, ang droga daw kay maka-change sa imong behavior. So, they can affect your relationships with family and friends. So, there is increased risk of injury and or assault to both yourself and other people. Ang last is ang illegal issues. So, many drugs are illegal and you can be fined or sent to prison for having them. So if convicted of drug offense, you can end up with a criminal record. This can make it harder to get job, apply for a loan, and travel overseas. So they have different types of drugs affect your driving ability in the following ways. First is stimulants. So driving too fast or erratically, being aggressive, behind the wheel. Reduced, you can feel overconfident. So, second is the antidepressants. Driving too slowly, falling asleep at the wheel, wearing out of your lane, your reactions are slower. So, ang uban ka nang magpahinay og dagan, maka-falling asleep at while nag driving is maka-cause pud na siya og accidents. Ang third is hallucinogens. Distorted vision, hard to correctly judge distances. So, seeing things that are not there. Mixing drugs, including alcohol, only increases your risk of having a crush. So, ginabawal man pud na siya, di ba? Ginabawal pud if kanang na kang drugs or especially kanang mantahay kanang hubog. Bawal man dyan na siya mag-drive og kanang kanang mga vehicle kay kakos man dyan na siya og crash or accident.
How your body processes drugs. So, there are 4 stages para ma-process sa atong lawas ang drugs. Una, absorption. When you use a drug, it is absorbed into your bloodstream. How quickly this happens depend on how you took the drug. Second is distribution. Once ang droga is in your bloodstream, it circulates through your body, being distributed to different organs and the brain. The drug affects chemicals and receptors within the brain, causing different effects depending on the type of drug. Third is metabolism. Your body then metabolizes the drug or breaks it down into simpler molecules or known as metabolites, which can be more easily eliminated. So sometimes these metabolites can also affect sa lawas. Last is excretion. Metabolized drugs go through your digestive system and exit your body, usually sa mga ihi or feces. How long your body takes to eliminate a drug varies. It depends on many factors, including the drugs itself, how much you took, or unsa siya ka isog, and you as an individual, imong metabolism, imong edad, health, and environment.
Drug test. So, ang drug test is mo na ang pag-test sa isa ka person to see if there is a drug in their body or nag-use siya og illegal drugs. So, drug testing to see if there are drugs in your body may be done to detect illegal drug use. So when you are driving in some work, when you are driving, when you are driving in some workplace or in sport, there are different types of drug tests. So they look for the trace drug in your in your saliva, blood, urine, breath, sweat, or hair. So, a negative result sa pagkuha sa drug test only happen if you have not taken any drugs. So, your body has broken down the drug and eliminated it from your body. So, question, what is bad reaction or trip? So, a person using a drug can sometimes have a bad reaction. So, meaning, dili sila kuan sa ilang mga reaction, no? Usahay nag-experience sila kuan ka na mahimong violente or di kaya mag-harm og lain. So, a person using drugs can sometimes have a bad reaction, also called a bad trip, linked to hallucinogenic drugs. The The intensity of a high experience during a bad trip can be overwhelming, and the user can become unstable, even violent, and risky harming themselves and or around them. So drug overdose, talking too much of a drug, talking mali. Taking too much of a drug, including na ang mga prescription drug, so katong mga ginahat gina-prescribe sa doktor, nasa resita, can result sad og overdose. Will react differently, but death can occur in some cases. So saray pag ma-overdose ka, meaning ay pwede ka matay in some cases lang. So if a person recovery sa overdose, so ilahang body is permanently damaged na, kaya nag-take sila drugs, daghan. Mixing drugs or taking multiple drugs together is known as polydrug.
So another one, I will discuss about drug addiction and dependence. So anyone can become addicted to alcohol or drugs. Ang tanan pwede mahimong become addicts sa alcohol or sa drugs. So not anyone who tries drugs will become regular users. Like not all regular users become dependent. So dili tanan nga musulay og droga mahimong regular nga tigamit. Dili tanan regular nga tigamit mahimong dependent. So there are many factors involved and it varies between people and drugs. So using drugs regularly and lead to tolerance. So using drugs regularly can lead to tolerance. So your body becomes used to the drug and needs increasingly larger doses to achieve the same effect. So ang kanunay daw nga napaggamit sa droga is mahimong masangpot sa matugtanon. So ang imong lawas na anad na sa droga, so og nagkinahanglan nga mas dako ang pagsira aron makabot sa mga epekto. So regular use can also lead to dependence. Where you need the drug to feel good and function normally. So dependence can be physical, psychological, or both. So being addicted means continuing to use a drug even though you're aware of a harmful consequences. So addictions can be first as a physical. Your body causes the drugs. So example ana is alcohol and nicotine. So mental, your mind needs the drug in order to forget your problems or relax. So ang sa mental daw, ang kini pong imuhang minds is nag-need pod og drugs in order para ma-forget nimo ang mga problems or maka-relax ka. Third is ang social. You can feel you need the drug in order to fit in or enjoy social events. So if you stop taking a drug or tolerance to reduce the amount you're taking, you may experience withdrawal symptoms. So this can be physical and mentally unpleasant and may include una na isang tiredness, hunger, depressions, being irritable, dali ra masuko, aggressions, anxiety, paranoia, and cravings for the drugs.
Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, sir, or whatever time you will see this video. Once again, I am Hannah Bialcatigan, and I am going to report about how to reduce or quit drugs. Okay, so na-mention na sa naunang reporter kung unsa day ang drugs, nganong nahimo siya nga illegal o legal, and also na-mention na sa nila kung unsa ang classification of drugs. So karon maistoryahan na po nato sa akong report kung unsaon di ay pag-reduce or pag-quit or pag-undang o gamit anang butanga.
So naay different services available to help everyone nga nagagamit to quit using it. Kung ikaw karon nagagamit or nakay-kaila, so naay mga available nga mga services para makatabang sa ato ang muundang na tao gamit ana. Okay, so una, so dili sa di ay ta mo ingon og una no kay ato sang hisgutan nganong kailangan man nga undang o gamit ana. Kung ikaw karon nagagamit or naba kay kaila, pero for sure sa atong section no wala mong guro yung nagagamit anang og drugs. So it's never too late guys. It's never too late to quit using drugs. Reducing or quitting drugs can improve your life. So naay maayong naay kaayuhan ang pag-undang o gamit ana, naay kaayuhan sa imuhang kaugalingon. It can improve your life in many ways. So una, improve your physical and mental well-being. So kung muundang daw ka, ma-improve daw imuhang physical and mental well-being rather. So kabantay mo nga pag naa gani kanang user, kanang for sure naman dyan may kailan nun na or madungog nga kana siya nagana, di ba makabantay mo kay mamaot iyang naong or natay mga sample pictures mga artista kato sila Whitney Houston, di ba? Naay before nila nga ng mga naong napoy after, so makamaot siya, mamayat ka tungod kay guba ng mga vital organs, di na healthy ang uban gani nangamatay na. Okay, reduce your risk of permanent damage of vital organs and death. So mo na to kung giingon gain na pag kanang namin nadungog or nakaila nga nagagamit, di ba mamaot siya, mamayat man na, so kay guba na iyang vital organs. Ikatulo, improve your relationship with friends and family. So kanang pagmingin ta og improve your relationships, kanang mas nanakay time sa ilan, nanay bond kanang okay kay inyong relasyon sa imong family na kay malain ba imong batasan ana inig kanang adik ka, di ba? Perminti ka na ay kanang krimen nga himuon. So ikaapat, help you reconnect with your emotions. Okay, makontrol na nimo imuhang emosyon, di na ka magsigkalagot kanang maburyong ka, di ba? Makakuan man makaano jud ta ana no kay naman pila na ka symposium man atong natinan. So lain jud ang daghag mga kuan which is na mention ato gainang ni atong mga reporter gain na katong mga mag-hallucinate na kay nga na. Okay, increase your energy, help you sleep better, so makatulog na kag tarong kay og adik biya ka di biya ka katulog, di biya wala jud nay tulog-tulog sa imo, perminti ka nga kanang kuan sigla yan na. Okay, improve your appearance, again makagwapa na, mugwapa na ka kung undang ka ha, mugwapa na ka, muaniyag na ka nga na. Save you money. Okay, so nganong maingon man ta og save money? Di ba makabalod ay actually kabalo na dyan mo anino nga gamay lang na gramo sa drugs or unsa pa na diya, mahal kayo og kantidad, right? Mao na gito kung gingina katong dili na ka magkahimog krimen kana mangawat na ba ka ana kay ipalit, so dili na mahitabo kay lamliman ka ng perting gamaya nga sachet, perting mahala mga kantidad gurug 1.5, di ba nga na. Okay, so na ako'y i-share sa inyo true to ay ako jud ni siyang naistorya, usa ni siya kanang ni graduate na pag-addict nga na god, so or recovered addicts na ang tawag ana sa iya ha na o lagi recovered addicts na ang tawag ana, di ba, pag undergo nang nagbag-o na ba nga na. Okay, so ana siya nangutan ako sa iya about sa experience niya sa pag-undang ay paggamit niya pag-undang ana, which is nanon po siya nung mura siyang nabuang wakat anana. So pag-undang daw niya, syempre nag-undergo daw og kanang rehab. Dili daw ingon ana siya nga, dili daw ingon nga pag mauundang ka maayo dayon ka, dili daw ingon nga kanang murag fast recovery nga na go dili daw niya na depende daw na sa imong ka-addict. So siguro yang gipa kuan ani gipa sabot ani is dosage siguro nga na nang sa grabe daw, ay depende daw sa imong ka-addict. Pero he believes about process, trust the process lang gid daw, and dili daw, and ano siya, kung mo undang daw ka palayo gid daw kuno. It takes time, ay ano pa, pasabot niya atong palayo na dili na ka mo dapat kabalo, ay ma-mention ako na later, basta ana siya na kung magbag-o daw ka palayo ka sa mga butang na kanang pwede ka makabalik good og gamit ana mo na iyang istorya ato. It's because dili gid daw, it's very hard gid daw kanang mag-quit ka, undang ka nya grabe na ka dili gid daw basta-basta na maayo dayon ka kanang maundang dayon ni ana. It takes time gid daw bago ka ma-recover. So, and dapat in times of recovering dapat naa daw kay inspirasyon. Kung magundang daw ka o ana nga bisyo or ana nga butanga, dapat naa daw kay inspirasyon para ma-motivate daw ka na magbag-o. Ay sana all. Basta mo na ingon ni Kuya kato man gud na panahon is kanang kuan daw kanang wala pa daw siya wa siya na inspired, iya lang trip nga munda yan na siya na inspired, so murag kapila po to siya ato na rehab, kabalo sila kuan ana mga taga-baon. Okay, so what quitting drugs feels like? So unsa daw bation nimo kung unsa daw pamati nga mundang nakaog anang bisyuha? Okay, when you reduce or quit using drugs, your body goes through a detoxification process. Detox or withdrawal. Kanang pagmingon bitag detox so kay kanang ang atong lawas kay mabag-o jud siya, like mahimo na kang healthy person nga na moanyag na ka, makaanyag jud siya, ma-detoxify ka. Okay, so learning how to manage them is important good, no, for staying drug free. Okay, symptoms vary between people and between drugs and range from mild to serious. They can last from a few days to a few weeks. It's different from every person. So depende ra pud siya no kay to laging sa dosage katong gimin gay na ni kuya no. Okay, so but they are temporary. Cravings for the drug will sometimes be weak and at other times very strong. Learning how to manage them is important for staying drug free. Again, katukong na ingon gay na, learning how to manage them is important yun para mahimo kang drug free. Kay pag naman good again it's the symptoms vary between people and between drugs and range from mild to serious. They can last for a few days, depende ra na sa imong dosage og sa person kung nadjud kay interest nga maundangan jud na nimo siya. Okay, so preparing to quit drugs, kung you were in the middle of pagpreparar na ka para muundang. Okay, reducing or quitting drugs can be hard. So tama jud tong giingon ni Kuya katong naka-istorya nako ba nga lisod jud ay you may have become dependent or addicted. It's a good idea to be prepared for what's involved. So again, kanang it's very hard gid siya, dili jud siya lalim, dili siya dali dayon ingana diha dayon na ka mo quit na ka maka-recover na ka, so dili. Okay, so admit you have a problem. Okay, so first step daw in quitting drugs, you admit that you have a problem. Okay, so the first step in drugs is to admit that you have a problem. If you're not sure, ask yourself, with this following question. So, ang first step di ay nimo nga himuon is try to what we call this one, kanang i-test sa imong kaugalingon or i-ask sa imong imong kaugalingon kung kanang napakay problem nga na ba. Okay, so naay mga pangutana para mabalaan nimo nga nakay problema why ning gamit ka ana nga na good. Okay, so una, are you using drugs? Are you taking drugs first thing in the morning or to get through the day? Ana, nag-take ba ka og drugs in the morning? Do friends or family worry or complain about your drug use? Imuhang family or friends na worry ba or nag-complain ba sila nga ano imong paggamit? Do you lie about how much you're using? Nagapangatik ba ka nga unsa sa kadaghan sa imong nagamit? Have you sold possessions or stolen to pay for your drug habit? Mo to kung giingay na maka-create na ka og crime, nga mangawat na ka, nga nakatry ba ka nga nangawat ka or na para lang ibayad ana imong bisyo nga na. Have you participated in dangerous or risky activities such as driving under the influence, having unprotected sex or using dirty needles? Ana, do you feel that you've lost control or your drug taking? Are you having problems with relationship? Kung na problema ka kanang sa imong uyab, okay, so kung kana, if your answer is yes to any of these questions, it might be time to accept that you have a problem. So pag nag-yes ka ato kung mga pangutana means naa jud kay problema. Pero wala. Char lang. Okay, so see your specialist kung nanagay kay problema nga hinungdan nganong ning sulod na kaana. So dapat magpa-check jud ka sa imong specialist, mga doctor nga na. Okay, so another one is know your trigger. Again, na-mention sad na ni Kuya katong dapat daw kabalo ka kung kanang kabalo ka unsay mga butang nga makapatrigger sa imo nga mobalik ka para malikayan nimo na no. So tama jud iyang experience. Okay, so keeping track of your drug use can help you identify habits, emotions, and social situations that trigger the desire to take drugs. Again, mo to kung giingon na ngapat kabalo ka kung unsa mga butang nga makapabalik sa imo aron makalikay na ka. Okay, so to completely avoid all those situations, but steps you can take include avoiding places where you know drugs and alcohol will be available. So una daw dira is mag-avoid na ka nga moadtuan ng lugar nga kabalo ka nga nay namaligya diha og drugs or namaligya dira og alcohol nga mga beverages nga na. Surrounding yourself with friends who don't use drugs, knowing how to resist temptation. Diri sa surrounding yourself with friends, dapat imuhang mga kaubanon is ang mga friends nga dili mga bad influence. Dapat mga friends nga kanang mga maayo nga tao nga na dili ka pwede ma-surrounded og kanang mga BI, mga bad influence kay dili na makatabang. So dapat daw surrounding yourself with friends who don't use drugs, knowing how to resist temptation. So dapat kabalo ka mo palayo sa temptasyon or dili ka magpada sa mga temptasyon, and learning how to cope with stress and relax without drugs. Dapat kabalo na ka mo handle sa imong kaugalingon nga okay, dili drugs ang makatabang sa ako para ma-relieve ni akong stress, akong pain. So nga na. And distracting yourself with activities like exercise or listening to music. Mo nang ginaingon nila, grabe ka bisya music. So, mo na ilang giingon gaina no nga kanang adili, sorry. Mo nang ginaingon nga no to drugs, yes to sports. Okay, so lingawa imong kaugalingon pag sige dag basketball unsa pa mga exercise dira para kuan para malingaw ma-distract ka and listening music pag perming magma-music ka ingana good kanang mag ano kag mga kalihukan ba mga maayong kalihukan ingana and making plan pag himo og note pag note dira ang okay karon nga adlaw man ako himuon ingana ang mga nindot na mga pamlano and making a plan and writing it down can help you commit to quitting. Okay, so kanang maghimo ka, pwede ka maghimo og notes or mga magsulat ka og story. Pwede ka maghimo og story nimo, how you start, why you start, kanang mga inspirational para makahatag ka og inspirasyon sa uban. Kay pwede man na nimo i-publish kana naman tay mga social media, ingana para dili lang ikaw lang ang kuan ba makatabang sad ka sa uban ning ana mga ingana mga mag-commit ka nga okay so mauni ning una ko ingana ba mga para mag-commit ka to quit na jud. Okay, setting goals for your recovery helps you stay motivated and can make the process less stressful. It's important to set realistic goals, both short and long term. Be specific and make them measurable. Okay, so examples of realistic or kanang mga short term kanang mga I will see kanang maghimo ka di ay og kuan ba kanang mga goals nimo or mag-notes ka nga okay karon nga or itinerary ingana ba nga okay karon nga adlaw moadto ko ay karon na mga simanahuna moadto ko sa conductor ingana karon ay sunod adlaw mag-walk ko or everyday na ako dapat mga 3 mga half hour nga walking ana ba mga process para padayon na gyud nga bag-o na jud ka or mahil na ka or mag-quit na jud ka. And also, I want to be a drug-free for 2 weeks straight. So, dapat na kay mga mag-commit na ka, magsulat kag mga i-commit nimo nga okay, ana, imo ni ana. And the long-term goals, mao sad ni siya. Being drug-free for a year and year and year. So, mao na imong mga long-term goals. Dapat nga mga short term pa man to na karon mga long term na pod is dapat i-goal nimo or i-aim nimo nga gusto na ko mahimong drug free nga na. So having a friends that are healthy and sober and provide support, dapat na po kay mga supportive family and friends. Rebuilding family kana ganing pasabot gud aning supportive friends kana ganing dili ka down kay tungod user ka ingana kung ano na pod ka no tabangan gay dapat ka nga mabag-o ka right mo ganitong akong giingon na dapat pod kini si user user ka dapat na pod kay inspirasyon nga mo motivate so mo ra gid na makatabang no kay para magpag-o sa katao kay naman siya mga possible reason why nga nun isulod ang usa ka tao anang bisyuha. Kaya again, katokong ingon kung nanabakay, admit that you have a problem. Diba nga na? Okay, so ikatupat, reward yourself for success with an enjoyable, drug-free activity such as going to a movie or planning a holiday. And take it easy on yourself if you mess up. Okay, so pag nalang kay ma-failed, ay lang pudayog ka, kuan nga, uy, na-fail na pug ko nga na. So, padayon lang. It's okay to fail. Just don't give up trying. Okay. Naman dyan na temptasyon, day. Ay, guys. Naman dyan na temptasyon. So, kanang hinahinay lang dyan. Okay lang man dyan na. Mogit na ingon ni Kia. Trust the process lang. Okay. Ways, mga paraan para mag-reduce or mag-quit og drugs. Okay. Okay, so ways to reduce or quit drugs. Okay, there is no treatment that works for everyone. Just as drugs affect each person differently, treatment needs to be individual. It's important to find a program that works for you. Okay, so treatment options range from counseling through a hospital care. It depends on the range from counseling through a hospital care. It depends on which drugs are involved and how serious your dependence or addiction is. So, include ana is ang going cold turkey. Excuse me. You stop taking drugs suddenly with no outside help or support. Kaning going cold turkey, kana gani ang cold is na sa relationship mo mo cool off sa nga na you stop taking drugs nang suddenly with no outside help kanang mikalit ra kag cool off sa good og using nga na mo na siya. Counseling and lifestyle changes. Individual or group therapy can help you learn to cope without drugs. This can be successful if your drug use has been mild. Katulo is peer support groups are often run by recovered addicts. Their personal experience can be helpful to others. Detoxification ay others rather. Okay, so ang ikalima is detoxification or katong na ingon na po nako ni na. You stop taking drugs and have medical treatment known as pharmacotherapy while your body clears the drug from your system. And ikaunom is kato kung giingon na pod na rehabilitation. This is a longer term treatment where you can stay in a hospital or clinic or at home. It also involves psychological treatment to help you deal with issues that may have contributed to your drugs use. If you have mental health issues, your treatment will need to address that at the same time for your overall treatment to be effective. Okay, so kung may ganita og support services, quitting drugs on your own is difficult. Lisod siya daw na siya, no? Oy, mo to kung giingon nga experience di kuya murag helpful lagi sa akong report tong nang panagtabi na mo ni kuya, no. Quitting drugs on your own is difficult. See? Hard jud daw siya. It's much easier with support. Dapat na jud kay support. Tell your friends and family that you're quitting so they can help you. Kung you are planning niya nga mag-quit na ka, ayog sarili ha. Kanang pwede po ka mo share nga ana para matabangan kanila nga uy maayo na dong or die nga na ba. Okay, what if I relapse? If you have a relapse and start using again, kanang relapse ba kanang what if kanang nibalik na sad ko ana. Okay, remember that recovery doesn't happen overnight. Kanang timan ay mo to ingon ni kuya no nga kanang dili jud diha dayon ma-recover na ka. So take the opportunity to remind yourself why you are quitting. Oh, tama jud tong giingon ni kuya again nga dapat naa ka inspirasyon para mo quit, para ma-motivate ka nga na. Okay. Yourself why you are quitting. Forgive yourself and refocus on your plan. Talk to your doctor. They can work out how to best resume treatment or they may suggest a different type of treatment. When you're back on track, learn from what happened. So kung nagkuan na gani ka, kanang mura gani kung nakamali ka, learn from your mistake nga na ba. Okay, so panguntanay mo kaugalingon, what triggered the relapse? Nganong na unsa nga trigger nga nganong nakabalik mo yana? What went wrong? What could you have done differently? Na helping someone to quit drugs, watching someone you care about use drug is stressful. Their behavior can be erotic and talking to them about their problem is challenging. Okay, kung ano man na sila nang kanang lain na sila ka istorya ba kay murag mo likoy na guni yana. So naay tips kung ikaw karon gusto ka mo tabang nga magbag-o ang usa ka tao, or para motabang ka nga para moundang na good siya nga na. So naay kay anay mga tip para or mga guide para makatabang ka. Una dira, learn about the effects of drugs. This will help you understand why quitting can be hard. So para ma-realize nimo sa iya. Okay, show that you care without judging. Okay? So again, katong para sa mga family dira sa mga drug user. So dapat wala di ayaw sa pud ninyo dayon i-judge inyong kapamilyang adik ana, di ba? So magdinabangay ra pud gud mo. Being calm and respectful may encourage them to be open and honest with you. Kanang ay lang po dayon sila i-pressure ba nga, uy ana, imo na dayong i-judge, imo na dayong i-degrade, ilukda. No, kay naay kabag-uhan baya ang tanan. Okay, be positive and encouraging rather than negative and nagging. Diba? Dapat stay positive lang ka nga mga istorya sa iya. Ayaw po siya kanang singhagan nimo or unsa ba na ayaw. Again, remember, relapses may happen, but they don't mean the person can try again and succeed. Okay, kung nitabang na ka sa iya og kanang imo siyang gitabangan ba, imong gi-guide nimo siya, imo siyang unsa ni encourage, so unya nakamali, tagain na pud siya og chance, kay ang Ginoo gani makapasaylo, ikaw pa bang nga tao ra, charis, bitaw seryoso. Okay, so ipaing na lang siya nga, okay lang, maugit akong ingon, it's okay to be failed, but just don't stop trying again na. Okay, so offer practical support. Sometimes just being there is enough, but you can offer to go with them to parties or join them for a walk around. Ay lang po din, ay okay raman naman po yung mga parties nga ingana, no? Pero ay nga unsa ni, pero murag ilikay lang ayaw lang sa siguro jud sa as in nga party nga ana. Pwede ra party kanang kamula na happy lang nga mga kanang positive lang na mga happiness ba ana. Nindot po ni siyang kaubano nimo siya, hagiton nimo siya mga exercise, mga sports nga na. Okay, so na question, is addiction hereditary? Okay, research shows that genetics does play a part in whether someone is likely to become an addict, but it's not the only factor. Other factor includes ang environment. Okay, dili lang na sa genes, ha, dili sa genes nga uy addict na tanan, no, dili siya sa kanang genetics, sa mga kaliwatan nga na, dili na, ha. Okay, so na yung mga dili lang dahil diraa sa kaliwat yan, kay pwede pud baya adik ang mama, basi ma-adik niya na ba. Okay, so naa po day other factors. Environment. Okay, for example, ana is kanang nagdako ka nga adik mo silingan ana, barangay adik nga na god, kay na barangay wakwak pud tanan nga na ba. So nga na kung yung environment nga na basing na possible nga may nga na pud ka addiction where drugs are more available. Ay, o gani. For example, growing up amongst addiction where drugs are more available. Okay, temperament. For example, being more sensitive to stress or more impulsive. Kanang, kung usa ka katawo nga, grabe ka negative sa kinabuhi, nang murag paminon mo, na dyo'y paglaom sa tanan mo, nang problematic ka nga tao, nga na, pwede na siya nga hinungdan. So, again, and the last is, okay, so kung kabantay mo, wala na ko gina-insert ang mga word of God, nga wala na ko gina-mention, no, nga kanang upadaol sa Ginoo, nga na, kay gusto na ko i-last siya, i-last na ko ang pulong sa Ginoo, it's because for me, it's very special. So, sa tanan ako naman na-mention na istorya, so ang very best thing, gid na mo no, para mag-quit ka, paduol sa Ginoo. Okay? So, imuhang imong sarili ilingaw ni ay moano na ka ba at we call this one musimba ka, mo join na ka og mga kalihukan sa simbahan ingana mo na ang pinaka the best jud nga way para mo quit ka. Himuon nimo inspiration ang imong family, imo ang Ginoo ingana nga para dili kay kalibutanong buhat ra man na, so para mabira pa pug ka mga malangit na pa chance. Char lang bitaw. Pero seryoso guys, ang pinaka best thing jud is ang mopaduol jud ka sa Ginoo para ma-motivate ka to quit drugs, and of course again through that nor kanang trust the process lang jud. Trust the process, trust God, moampo ka, mosalig ka sa iya nga Lord para mabag-o gud ka mo, mabag-o imong kalag, mabag-o pud imong physical, tanan as in tanang aspect mabag-o kung naay kay Ginoo sa imong kinabuhi. Okay, so our Bible verse about addiction is John 2:16. So it states there that for everything in the world, the lust of the flesh, the lust of the eyes, and the pride of the life comes not from the Father, but from the world. So, dili na to pagbuot sa Ginoo, kun dili pagbuot na sa kalibutan or sa mga kalibutanong buhat. Okay, so the Bible discusses temptation in detail. So, kana siya day nga storya kani sa John 2:16 is about kay Job o kay Joseph. So, God has given man free will so that we are not constricted and make the right choices for ourselves. So, gigaan ta sa Ginoo og kanang free will kanay tanan nga nahitabo pagbuot ni sa Ginoo. Pero ang mga kaayuhan dili tong mga ikadaot pag motoy pagbuot sa Ginoo, kanang mga dili maayo pagbuot na nimo or natong mga katawhan, kay ang gihimo man is kabalo man ka nano man kay buot unsay maayo unsay dili, pero ngano himuon man nimo ang dili, so dili na pagbuot sa Ginoo, imo na nang pagbuot. Okay, so the world is full of trials and potentials, stumbling blocks, including drugs and alcohol. To lead happy, fulfilling lives, we must choose the path of God instead of the path of temptation. So, piliun dyan na to ang dalan sa Ginoo kaysa dalan sa mga temptasyon. So, maulan to, daghan kaayong salamat sa pagpaminaw. God bless!
Methamphetamine hydrochloride, a central nervous system stimulant and sympathomimetic with an actions and uses similar to dextroamphetamine. The smokable form is a drug of abuse and is referred to as crank, crystal meth, ice, and speed. So methamphetamine hydrochloride was the most expensive type of drug sold in retail in the Philippines, and the cheapest drug is poor man's drug or what we call shabu. So ang pinakamahal is ang methamphetamine hydrochloride, and then ang pinakabarato po is ang shabu nga mga ginagamit sa mga poor man's.